Both Victor Glover and Mike Hopkins now inside the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock. After everything is situated inside the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock, the hatch between the crew lock and the equipment lock will be closed. The astronauts will conduct some final communications and suit systems checks with the ground. Depressurization will begin, and the spacewalk itself will officially begin once the suits are switched to internal battery power. Both astronauts now in the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock, and we've got a few more Ask NASA questions. This one from Brianna. Thank you for watching, and she wants to know how long the astronauts can be outside the space station. We plan for about 6.5 hours of work for our crew members in today's spacewalk. However, that can be modified to be longer or shorter based on the consumables that they are using. That includes their oxygen in their spacesuits. Nathan wants to know the website that gives notifications when the space station is flying over your local area. You can visit spotthestation.nasa.gov, type in your location, and sign up for email or text message alerts when you'll be able to see the International Space Station. As you can see, those spacesuits are pretty large, and this next question, wanting to know what is the rough mass of that equipment. On Earth, the spacesuits themselves weigh about 315 pounds, but of course that number is reduced to nearly nothing when in microgravity. NASA astronaut Kate Rubins now closing the hatch between the crew and equipment log portions of the Quest airlock. She and Suichi Noguchi will remain on the equipment lock side, where the astronauts donned their suits this morning. Meanwhile, Hopkins and Glover are now inside the crew log portion, fully suited and ready for today's spacewalk.
Station 6-1, we're checking step 73. You guys can do the step 74.
We copy. We'll put that in work.
Houston Station 2, I believe you guys also performed 75, 76. We are standing by for 77.
We copy. We've got 75 in work, and we're going to wait just a few more minutes for 76. We are still 12 minutes to our go for depress time.
Things moving smoothly for the astronauts now as they prepare to exit the International Space Station. However, we still have less than 12 minutes until depressurization of the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock begins. We'll be bringing that down from the pressure about 14.7 psi, and that's what we're used to here on Earth. That's typically what the space station is near.
Happy to help.
I'll be bringing down that pressure inside the crew lock portion to near a vacuum, like the astronauts will experience in space.
Good. Okay. Settle back in here, start moving around.
And Airlock Houston on 1. EV crew are now hot mic on space to ground 1. And Soichi, you are go for step 77.
EV1 copy. Great to hear from you, Kathy. EV2 copy.
And EV1 copy, step 77 is complete.
Copy all. You guys have fun out there and be safe. Looking forward to a good day.
We're in a quick satellite handover of the tracking and data relay satellite systems. That was Capcom Kathy Bolt talking with the crew. She will be handing over her duties of speaking with the spacewalkers to Andy Mogensen, a European Space Agency astronaut you see there in the center of your screen. He will be relaying all of the tasks to the crew while they're outside the hatch. Meanwhile, Kathy Bolt will stay on console and be speaking with the crew members inside the International Space Station. While we wait for depressurization of the crew log portion of the Quest airlock to begin, we are still taking your Ask NASA questions. Dan wants to know where the crew members are from and if there are language barriers on the space station. It truly is an international space station, and in your screen here you see JAXA, or Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut Soichi Noguchi. 4 of the crew members are from NASA and are American, and 2 of the crew members are from Russia of the space agency Roscosmos. Crew members learn to speak English and Russian, that way they can all communicate with one another aboard the International Space Station. Then Kat wants to know, well, thanks for the live feed. We are happy to provide it. Once Michael and Victor are outside of the space station, is there any visual identification of them? Yes, you will be able to tell them apart once outside the space station. If you're looking for NASA astronaut Victor Glover, you can look for red stripes around the legs of his spacesuit. That identifies him as EV1, or extravehicular crew member 1. Meanwhile, if you see an astronaut with no stripes, or an unmarked suit, I should say, that's NASA's Mike Hopkins, EV2. Teams on the ground conducting their go, no-go poll for depressurization today, and everything is looking good. This next question is from Nathan, age 6. Hi, Nathan, and thanks for your question. He would like to know how fast the space station travels and how many minutes it takes to go around the Earth. The space station travels at about 17,500 miles per hour, and it sees 16 sunrises and sunsets a day. So it takes about 90 minutes for the space station to go around the Earth, and every 45 minutes they see either a sunrise or a sunset. Our next Ask NASA question is, what is the standard time zone in space? Well, we are in Houston and in Central Time, and those in Roscosmos are about 12 hours ahead of us, so the time zone that the space station uses is GMT, or Greenwich Mean Time. That's about halfway between both of the command and control centers. Just a couple of minutes until we'll be looking for that go for depress call. And this next question from Arya wanting to know how old the space station is. The first element of the International Space Station was Zarya, a Russian element. Zarya launched on November 20th, 1998. And just last November, we celebrated 20 years of continuous human presence on the International Space Station, meaning that for 20 years since last November, there has been a human in space at all times. Another question, this one from Ashwin, wanting to know if the replacement items are hooked up to the suit during the spacewalk so they don't fly free. That is correct. You'll probably hear a lot of talk about tethers today once the astronauts are outside of the station. Of course, the crew members themselves remain tethered to the station at all times, but they also keep their workstations and any tools or replacement items they need tethered to themselves.
And Airlock Houston on 1, we are ready for depress. You can pick up in step 80, crew lock, depress, repress, Q card.
System copies. Sorry. Station copies.
Sounds good.
And EV1, EV2, are you ready for the card?
EV1 ready. Sound is a little bit broken. And 2's ready.
All right. EV2, UIA, switch depress pump power to on. Wait 10 seconds for complete startup.
Depress pump power on.
All right. EV2, depress pump manual ISO open. Expect alert tone.
Open. Depress pump man ISO.
EV1, EV2, monitor suit P gauge less than 5.5. If it's greater than 5.5, stop depress.
EV1, 2.
Depressurization has begun in the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock. This is a very slow process, bringing that pressure in the crew lock portion down to as near zero as possible, equating it to almost a vacuum, which is what the astronauts will experience once they are outside of the hatch. Crew lock pressure now under 10 psi. Depressurization will continue until a pause at 5 psi.
And EV2, next step will be when the crew lock at 6.0, you hit alert tone, and at 5.0 psi, you close the manual ISO valve.
EV2. 5.0. Copy.
Depressurization continues in the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock, and in your frame right now you see Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut Soichi Noguchi peeking in on the crew members as he monitors depressurization. We have another Ask NASA question, this one from Pippa. Hi Pippa. She wants to know the temperature on the space station. Inside the station, the temperature stays at about 72 degrees Fahrenheit.
Point oh.
Copy 6.0. Next, when 5.0 psi, you close the manual ISO.
DQ. Move my feet, Nader Hopper. I'm sorry, Zenith. Okay. Depress pump, man ISO valve closed.
EB2. Next, EB1, EB2. DCM, switch display to status until leak check question mark displayed. Hold yes for 2 seconds, follow display the instructions.
V1, 2.
Preparation for today's spacewalks continue. The crew lock portion of the Quest airlock is currently being depressurized, bringing it down to near vacuum, just like space. Once they egress or exit the hatch today, the crew members have a variety of tasks ahead of them. Both will work on the early ammonia system to vent some jumpers, 2 specifically, and one will be moved to the near the airlock, outside of the airlock. A wireless video system external transceiver assembly will be removed and replaced by Victor Glover. Meanwhile, Mike Hopkins will be working on several tasks at the Columbus module, including at the Bartolomeo platform, where he will be working to connect cables from a previous spacewalk this year.
Depress pump manual ISO valve open.
Depress pump man ISO valve open.
Check the left tone. And the emergency imperative is now open. EB1, EB2, monitor SUPI gauge less than 5.5.
EB1, 2.
And EB2, your next action is when the crew lock is at 2.0 psi, you will close the manual ISO valve and the pump power to OFF.
EB2.
This handheld camera view coming from Soichi Noguchi inside the equipment lock portion of the Quest airlock, monitoring depressurization of the crew lock, where Michael Hopkins and Victor Glover are now preparing for today's spacewalk, depressurization continuing smoothly. We're in a quick satellite handover as depressurization continues.
2.0, depressed pump man ISO valve is closed.
Copy, and you can turn pump power to all SF.
Depressed pump power is off, OFF.
Okay, I see it off. It's been a pleasure serving you. And now the Space Ambassador of Denmark is going to take over. Andy.
Thanks, Soichi. Thanks, Soichi. And Kate. And Kate, yep.
Good afternoon, Ike and Hopper. I'm ready for an initial tether config if you are.
All right, Andy. It's great to hear your voice. All right. So EV1, starting at the airlock D-ring extender, has a waist tethered small hook, which is closed, locked, black on black, good full test. And then my waist tether is connected to that. Large hook to large hook, good full test. Both are locked, black on black. My waist tether small hook is to my right D-ring extender lock, gate closed, black on black. In my safety tether anchor load alleviating strap hook, the red hook is locked, black on black to the right D-ring extender. That reel, the red reel, is unlocked. That reel has a green hook locked to it. The yellow hook from that reel is locked to my green reel. It's closed, sliders locked, black on black, good full test. And that anchor is locked, black on black, to Hopper's red reel. And that reel is unlocked.
Copy all for you, Ike. That sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to start for EV2 with my right D-ring extender for my waist tether. It is, small hook is on that. Still close, starter lock, black on black, good full test. And the hook is to my T-bar. Also on the right D-ring extender is my red small hook. Still close, starter lock, black on black, good full test. And the yellow hook from my red reel, which is unlocked, is attached to the green reel. Bell closed, starter lock, black on black, good full test. Green reel is unhooked or unlocked. The small green hook is attached to my red reel, and that is unlocked. And my anchor hook is to my T-bar. Also attached to my red reel is EV1 already reported, is his anchor hook, bell closed, starter lock, black on black, with a good full test.
Excellent. That's a good config for both of you.
Mike Hopkins and Victor Glover reporting their tether configurations ahead of today's spacewalk. In this view, you can see through the window of the hatch that separates the crew lock and equipment lock portions.
And just a heads up, you can expect an alert tone when the crew lock DPDT is about 0 on the DCM.
EV1. 2.
And we have about 10 minutes until we're at vacuum.
EV1. 2.
Depressurization of the crew lock slowly continues, bringing that down to a vacuum before the astronauts open the hatch and egress or exit into space. The spacewalk will officially begin when Mike Hopkins and Victor Glover, our spacewalking astronauts today, switch their suits to internal battery power. As we await depressurization's completion, another look at what we can expect to see the astronauts work on today. We mentioned that early ammonia system. They'll be venting 2 of the jumpers there, and 1 will be relocated to the outside of the airlock. Victor Glover will remove and replace a wireless video system external transceiver assembly. Meanwhile, Mike Hopkins will be working several tasks at the Columbus module, including working on some jumpers and plugs for the Bartolomeo platform outside Columbus. Additionally, he will be reconfiguring a ham radio and closing 11 cable clamps used on Bartolomeo.
Copy, 0.6. So when it reaches less than 0.5, then you can open and stow the EV hatch.
Copy, and if you see that before I do, which is likely going to be the case, let me know and I'll get started.
Copy, will do.
Andy Mogensen, today's ground IV, reporting to the crew that they are almost ready to open the hatch. But back to the tasks we can expect to see. We'll also see the crew members install a stiffener on the thermal airlock cover. This will help keep the cover from blowing open. And their last scheduled task is to route cables to camera ports 8 and 9. These will create a Wi-Fi hotspot once connected.
All right, Ike, we see a delta P of less than 0.5 psi. You are go to open and stow the EV hatch.
Copy, in work, and I see 0.5 on the gauge, just for your info. Wow. All right, Hopper. Yep, I scrunch down your way a little bit. You got. All right. That's just unlocked. That's just unlatched. Nicely done, Ike. Hey, that little forearm trick worked. Yeah? What do you know? All right, well, Ike, Andy, the hatch is open.
Copy. And Suichi in the airlock, you are go to close the emergency MPEV.
Anything for you, Andy. The MPEV is closed.
Copy. Now, Ike and Hopper, on your DCM, you can switch power to BAT. Please stagger your switch throws and expect a warning tone, and then check your display switch is functional.
1, power to BAT.
We're in another satellite handover of the tracking data and relay satellite systems, but just before, you saw NASA astronauts Mike Hopkins and Victor Glover open the thermal cover of the hatch. That's the exact thermal cover they'll be working on later today.
Switch power to EV1 and 2 to off, and check that the 4 power LEDs are also off.
Power EV1 off. Power EV2 off. LEDs are off.
Copy. Now you can disconnect the SCU from your DCM, install the DCM cover, and stow the SCU in the pouch.
EV1 in work. EV2.
And since the spacesuits have switched to internal battery power, the spacewalk has officially begun at 7:14 a.m. Central Time.
See you in the pouch.
Copy. Hopper, you can now check that the deep press pump man ISO valve is closed.
Deep press pump ISO valve closed.
All right, both of you on your DCM, please take your temperature control valve to max hot.
In work. EV1 max hot. EV2 max hot.
Now switch water to on, ON.
EV1 water on. EV2 on.
Check your DCM is blank and bite is off.
EV1 blank bite off. EV2 blank bite off.
Now you can set your temperature control valve as desired.
EV1.
And check your suit P gauge and report please to us.
EV1, suit pressure gauge is 4.2. EV2, 4.2.
All right, you'll be exiting into night, but there's only about 5 minutes left, so you can set your visors as you'd like.
1, 2.
All right, Ike, you can go ahead and open the hatch thermal cover and egress. On your way out,
Cover's open.
Copy. On your way out, please check that the pip pin is in place, and please give us a read of the hatch gauge.
Copy. And there are several pip pins, any one in particular? And the hatch gauge is 0.2. All right, Hopper, I am heading out. Roger.
Copy, 0.2.
I'm going to come your way a little bit first. You got? Can you go toward the UIA? Later. There you go. Thank you. Right, Andy, I can see the 2 inboard pins, and they're both in place.
Yeah, copy that, Ike. We're just looking for the forward hinge, the aft pin. So if you're saying both inboard ones are in place, that's good.
Okay, it's in place. Okay, can you go towards the hatch? Oh, the other hatch, sorry. Yeah. Equipment lock? Thank you. Yeah. All right, and I'll be out of your way soon. Roger. All right. All right, CT1. Outside. And Hopper, I am aft and port, inboard. Copy.
And Hopper, for you, you can transfer crew lock bag number 3 to Ike.
All right, I see it. Get a red on it. Sure, yep, that says 3. Thanks for action. Actually, let me present you the other side. A little better. What a gentleman. Thank you. I've got a red on it. Okay, let me take the, I've got control. You can take the red off. Roger. Red is off. Thank you. And it's to, just one of the rings on the airlock here. Perfect. And you ready for me to come out? The safety tethers are kind of hanging out in the hatchway. Roger. And the weather is great. You have a good egress. Roger.
This view of Mike Hopkins egressing the Quest airlock coming from the inside of the equipment lock portion, and the camera we saw Soichi Noguchi setting up earlier. Already outside the hatch, he is joining NASA's Victor Glover. You'll be able to tell them apart today by the stripes on their spacesuits. Hopkins is wearing an unmarked suit. Meanwhile, Victor Glover will have red rings around the legs of his spacesuit.
Roger. Let me get my Hecka. Hecka with a green LED. Roger. I see 1, 2, 3. Actually, your BRT tab looks a little different than the other two. Come this way. Roger. Okay, yep, it's up. Has a little bit of play, but it's up. You got 3 tabs up. Give me a yaw each direction. I'll check your safer handles. Okay. All right, your right safer handle is down. Hand control module door closed. Your left safer handle. Looks like you might be able to tap it like half a centimeter down. Roger that. It's down. Okay. And safety tethers. Unlocked, unlocked. Your hooks are locked. Ring extender has 2 small hooks. Look that are locked. All right, now see you got a local down. You look good. Okay. I do not see your WDS light or your green light. Okay, stand by. But now, I got to. Okay, let me look at your tabs. I see 1, 2. And where's that third one? There it is. Tabs. Your left safer handle is up right now. Okay. Thank you. And now it's closed. Down. Your left safer handle is, the right safer handle is down, and door is closed. Copy. And from a safety tether standpoint, you see 2 on your right D-ring. They're locked, unlocked, unlocked, and I've got your anchor hook, and it is locked. Copy. I show you in a good config. I'm going to lock that green hook as well. Roger. Copy. Good config.
Sounds like good buddy checks for both of you. We'll take a baseline HAB check and a hatch thermal cover close, please.
Roger. EV1's half is dry. EV2, half is dry. Okay, I'll finish it once the tether is
Copy.
Clear. Roger that. All right. Thermal cover is mostly closed. Andy, we've got the weight tether going in there, so.
Yeah,
thermal cover.
we copy that. So whenever you're ready, Hopper, you can retrieve the vent tool extender bag from the top of the airlock.
On my way.
A quick satellite handover, but just before that you saw the sun come up on the International Space Station. As we mentioned, the sun rises every 45 minutes or sets every 45 minutes. The space station traveling around the Earth at 17,500 miles an hour and currently 260 statute miles over the Pacific Ocean.
APFR in WIF 11. That's the APFR without an ingress aid.
Okay, didn't work. 11.
The tasks have already begun, with Mike Hopkins preparing to grab the vent tool extender bag. Crew members will need this for the venting of the early ammonia system jumpers, their first task of the day.
Okay, my BRT rep is to the vent tool extender bag.
Copy, Hopper. You can put on your BRT and then make your way out to P1.
Roger that. Andy for EV1, just confirm, I am taking the whip extender, correct?
No, just the APFR. You can leave the whiff extender.
Okay, thanks for clarifying. Just the APFR, copy. That bag look, Hopper? Old? Okay, let's see my VRT.
This view from Victor Glover's helmet camera. We'll be seeing astronaut eye views throughout the day today, and you'll be able to distinguish whose is whose by that number in the bottom right-hand corner. Victor Glover's camera is marked with the number 20, and Hopkins has the number 22.
All right, I come to see the... Awesome, I've got the APFR only on my VRT, and I'll be standing...
We're in a quick handover of the tracking data and relay satellite systems. Just beforehand, we heard Victor Glover discussing with the ground team that he was using the APFR, that's the Articulating Portable Foot Restraint. He'll be taking that with him today. That gives the astronauts a place to secure themselves, secure their footing, and get a little leverage while working on the space station.
A handover, so if you communicated anything else, I missed it.
That's it. All right, I come on phase one. That's good.
All right, Hopper, you're looking for the Bay 12, where you'll drop your anchor hooks on handrail 3651 and 3652.
Roger.
And just a quick reminder about a caution to avoid inadvertent contact with the deployed TUS cable along the zenith and nadir cedar rails.
Two copies. All right. Starboard cedar. Okay, going under the NT. Okay, past the port cedar car, continuing outbound. Making great signs.
And Hopper, you're dropping your anchor hook on handrail 3651. That's the long one below you.
Roger that. Okay, EV2's anchor hook 3651. Bell closed, airlock, black on black. That's a good full test.
Copy, and the reel unlocked?
And the reel is unlocked.
Copy. You can now attach Ike's anchor hook to handrail 3652, the small one.
Then work.
This view from the high-definition camera on Mike Hopkins' spacesuit. This high-definition view will provide for even better views during the Columbus work he'll be performing today, specifically at the Bartolomeo Science Platform.
All right, Ike, your anchor hook is attached to 3652, bell closed, throttle lock, black on black. Good pull test. Have a go to release your waist tether. All right, my waist tether is back to my workstation, and the airlock waist tether is going inside. Thermal cover is open.
All right, Hopper, you can make your way out to the P6 worksite.
Copy that. Gauntlets are in place.
Copy.
Okay. Andy, the thermal cover is closed.
Excellent, thank you. Then you can head out to the P6 worksite as well.
On the way.
And as you're both translating, I'll read you a couple warnings. Just a reminder that the P4 BGAs are rotating. Please avoid contact with any of the rotating structure. Also, please avoid contact with the radiator. And finally, just a reminder about the sharp edge hazards out of the P6 worksite. The pip pins on the TTCR and STCR do not meet the EVA kick load, and so they would present a sharp edge if broken. And also, there's the outboard empty rail attachment lug that has a sharp edge.
You want that? 3-2. All right, Hopper, I'm up on phase 1, coming your way. Roger, I'm at the Sarge.
And also just a reminder to you, Ike, to check your gauntlets are in place before you cross the Sarge.
Will do.
And let me know if you need guidance to get to the worksite. If not, Hopper, you're looking for P5 handrail 5223 for your green hook.
Copy. All right, Hopper, I'm going under the MT now. Roger.
This view from Mike Hopkins' high-definition camera, you can see some of those batteries that were removed and replaced earlier this year, as well as over the last few years, upgrading the space station's power supply.
All right, now I'm passing our safety tether anchors. Roger. Nice work, nice work.
Throughout the day, you will hear calls made to the crew members. You may hear Ike and Hopper. Those are the call signs given to Ike, Victor Glover, and Hopper, Mike Hopkins. Glover now making his way to the first work site to vent those early ammonia system jumpers alongside Mike Hopkins.
Alright, he wants to cross the Sarge. On your way, Hopper. Roger. Okay, green hook is down.
Copy. Green hook down. You can go ahead, go to the work site and stow the bag that you've got with you.
Roger, inward.
And Ike, you're looking for handrail 5231 for your green hook.
Copy at 5105, heading out.
And Hopper, you're stowing the bag just zenith of those jumpers between handrails 5339 and 5342.
Copy. 5339 and 5342. And you give me that green hook handrail again?
5231. It's just opposite of where Hopper dropped his.
5231. Okay, I'm visual. Andy, do you have any issue with me just dropping it right here on 5203, which is just right adjacent to it? Then I don't have to cross over the top of it, stick each other.
Yep, that's fine.
All right, 5203 it is. Green hook is in place.
Copy. You can translate out to WIF 27 on P6 where you'll be stowing the APFR.
On the way. Andy, both of my reels are unlocked. Okay, Andy, I'm heading out to put my rich man down. That'll get me out of the way if I like.
Copy.
All right, Hopper, I'm at P6, the inboard corner of the IEA. Roger that. I'm away. Okay, Andy, give me that whiff number again.
27, so it's on the forward edge. It's almost about as far out as you can. There should be an APFR in the adjacent with 31. So you'll be putting this one in 27, which is just next to that.
That is a great detail, right next to the, sorry about that, Hopper. Right next to the other one. All right. See it. I also see the vent tool back. All right, Andy, I'm with 27.
And Ike, when you stow the APFR, clocking is not so important. But if you want to, you can put it in 12.
Okay, Andy, Richman tail lead is down, heading back to the back.
Copy. The first thing you'll be doing is retrieving the vent tool adapter and removing one cap from that.
Copy. Andy, clocking to 12, it points the boot plate in toward the IEA.
Perfect. That gives Hopper room to get past it later. The other settings, we have time, I think, so the other settings are Indigo, Indigo, Fox 12.
Indigo 12 in work, and it is in with a good pull test, good twist test, and it is black on black. Indigo Fox 12 in work.
Good readback. And just give us a check on the pitch knob as well, please.
The astronauts are now at their first workstation of the day, where they will be working on the early ammonia system, venting 2 jumpers, one of which Glover will later relocate to the outside of the airlock.
Remove the cap. Go ahead and inspect the QD for us.
Okay.
There are a lot of moving pieces for this first task, and you just heard about the QD. That's the Vent Tool Quick Disconnect.
From the lock position, it's a little sticky and ratchet to push in. It wasn't huge though, 15 pounds of force maybe, and then turning it the first 15, 20 degrees, it was that same feeling. As soon as I got past that, it moved freely. I got it to India, and it locked freely, and then it's the same thing. The last 20 degrees, a little ratchety, but it popped out, and I can push it in and it pops right back out.
We copy all that. We appreciate the words.
No problem. Okay, vent tool adapter, I got the cap is off of it. Do an inspection, no fog, good sleeve, good seal.
Copy. You can grab the vent, you can remove the plug from the vent tool QD and give us an inspection of that too as well, please.
Roger, in work. And I see a good lanyard.
Once Hopkins has removed the plug from the Vent Tool Quick Disconnect, he will mate that quick disconnect to the Vent Tool adapter.
Good fingers, good seals.
Copy. So now we'll mate the vent tool adapter to the vent tool QD, and I'll read out the steps in Block C for you.
Ready to copy.
Okay, so verify that the female QD is ready to mate by making sure the detent button is up and the forward white band is not visible.
Up and not visible.
Go ahead and mate the QD and check that the forward white band is visible.
visible.
Next, Hopper, perform a snapback test and check that the forward white band is still visible.
Roger. And visible.
Finally, perform a pull test and a visual gap test.
Pull test looks good.
And Ike, once you've
Gap looks good.
once you've stowed the crew lock bag, then you can ret to the mutt end effector and attach the L bracket with nozzle to the mutt end effector ECOM.
Okay, I'm not there yet. Let's. What were the settings for the APFR? India, box 12 is what I have set.
That's perfect.
Okay. All right, now I'll stow the bag, and where exactly am I putting that?
5333.
Which is right behind me. Okay, so as soon as I get out of the way. Okay, Andy, I have the vent tool and adapter ready.
Yep.
And I'm ready to.
Next, we'll open the vent tool QD valve, and when you're ready for that, then you can depress the detent.
I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead and depress the detent button and move the bale to the forward position.
Roger. Okay. Forward position. Detent button is up. Half white band is visible.
Excellent. That means the QD is open. You can now retrieve the vent tool and the vent tool adapter combo.
Roger. And I got an audible for you. Roger. I'm done. What's your audible? Will you Tim stow the bag since it's behind you and I can start on the vent tool bag stuff? Yeah. Stand by. Roger. It's just ready to my BRT. Copy. So it's got a large, small, and a integral. See that? Okay, you can take your rep. You bet. All right, Andy, I'm at the vent tool bag.
Okay, so Ike, you can ret to the mutt end effector from the vent tool bag, and then you can attach the L bracket with the nozzle to the mutt ECOM fitting. The clocking is a yaw setting of alpha. And just double check that the French hook from the nozzle is attached to the L bracket.
Copy. I'm ready to the mutt end effector. That's the nozzle. The French hook is connected.
And you're putting that L bracket into the mutt ECOM so that the L bracket is parallel to the handrail, which would be in the mutt jaws.
It didn't work.
And Hopper, once you have a ret on the vent tool and the vent tool adapter combo, then you can translate down to M10 on the P6 long spacer. That's the inboard side of the connections.
Roger that. I am there.
Okay, you can remove the wire tie and booty and then the SPID from M10.
Roger. Work.
And just a reminder for a caution here, that handrail on the EAS jumper box cannot take BRT loads.
Roger. All right, Andy, the MUT and the bracket are together. It is the bracket alpha is, sorry, no, it needs to be parallel to the handrail. Fix that now.
Yeah, Ike, it looks like you're about 90 degrees off.
Yep.
And Hopper, once you've removed the wire tie and the SPID, you can put them in the trash bag, which is in the crew lock bag.
Roger that. Okay. Alpha is parallel to where the handrail would be. It is mated. And if you didn't hear me earlier, good French hook.
Copy, and then just check that the ECOM is locked.
ECOM is locked, lock on block.
Copy, you can unpack the vent tool extender and untether it from the bag. And then you can translate aft to handrail 5304, where you'll be attaching the MUT end effector.
Okay. Works.
Now 40 minutes into today's spacewalk, our crew members are still getting situated for their first task, which is venting the early ammonia system jumpers. One of these may potentially be needed on the starboard side of the truss, so once vented, Victor Glover will be taking one of the jumpers to the outside of the airlock where it will be stowed for later use.
If you want to have them redded to your mini workstation and keep them there rather than going back to the crew lock bag, that's also up to you.
That's that. All right, Pepper, I'm going to go over the top of you. Roger. All right, Andy, now I'm on my way. Give me that handrail again, please.
5304, and you'll be attaching the MUT so that the nozzle points aft. And Ike, just make sure, please, that the jaws on the MUT end effector are attached to the handrail between the two stanchions, because this one does have a part of the stanchion going part of the handrail going over the stanchion.
Yep, I see that, and I'm at 5304, and I won't put it on the little cantilever part.
And Hopper, once you've removed the SPID, go ahead and push the bale full forward, please.
Roger. All right, Andy, Alpha Alpha is parallel to the handle. It's in between two stanchions. Working on the pitch to 1 now.
Copy. Pitch to 1 is good, and then just double check that the MUT end effector is locked.
And work. MUT end effector is locked.
And so, Ike, good position is 30 degrees from aft, so slightly above the horizon.
That's what 1 lines up with, I believe. I'm working on that now. Hey, this guy's stubborn.
The crew will orient the jumpers so that they are venting ammonia away from the crew and away from the space station.
What are you working on, Hopper?
Oh, that spit doesn't want to come off. Reorienting.
And Hopper, you might try pushing forward on the QD bale, and that might offload the spid.
Sure. There we go. All right.
Excellent, we saw that.
Good move.
And then just ensure that the bale is pushed forward fully, please.
Pull forward.
All right, you can remove the second cap from the vent tool adapter and inspect it for FOD and debris.
Roger, and work.
This view from the helmet camera of Victor Glover, our EV1 extravehicular 1 crew member today. The astronauts will be using a vent tool and a vent tool extender to vent the early ammonia system jumpers.
Which is about 30 degrees zenith from the horizon.
Yep, that looks excellent. We're seeing it in your helmet cam. Looks perfect. Now just check that the ECOM is locked.
Both are locked, black on black.
Excellent. You can head back to the vent tool extender bag. And there you'll be removing the plug from the vent tool extender. And if you need detailed steps, I've got them. Otherwise, you can go ahead and remove the plug.
Okay, it's removed. Looking at the male end here. Side. Sleeve. It seals.
Copy. Sounds good. Once Ike has retrieved the vent tool extender and removed the plug, then you can go ahead and give him the vent tool nozzle, and he'll be inserting that into the vent tool extender.
Roger. Next to your left arm there, Ike. Again? So the plug is right next to your left arm. Okay. The plug is removed. Andy?
Copy. You can get the vent tool nozzle from Hopper and insert that into the extender.
The vent tool is inserted into the extender. The lock soft dock is very, very soft, so it's locked right now, but it pulls out of lock very easily.
Copy that.
It is locked.
Okay, that's...
And Andy, do I have to go to remove my rep from the tool?
Yes, you are go. And as you're doing that, I'll just give you a big picture. We are about to start venting ops. We are in orbital night, so we do have 20 minutes, so we do have time for this. Big picture words. Hopper, you'll be working on M10. You'll be closing the QD, then you'll be demating it, then you'll be mating it to the vent tool adapter, and then you'll be opening the valve.
Roger. I'm looking at N10. Hey, Hopper. Yeah, my BRT right here. Is that going to mess with you? Nope, not at all.
And I obviously had that wrong, which you probably noticed. We're in daylight, not in night. So we have a 6-minute thermal clock to do these 4 actions, Hopper.
Okay. Let's review them already. So we're going to close this, mate, open. When that last open happens, that's when we start the vent. Roger.
And just a clarification, we are 18 minutes from night, which means that the 6-minute timer will run into that 15-minute buffer before night begins, so it actually means that we do not have a limit on these ops.
Okay, very nice. I like that answer, Andy.
Okay, Ike, when you are in a good position on the forward edge, then I'll start with the ops for Hopper.
Ike is in position.
Copy. Are you ready, Hopper?
Ready.
Okay, so you can close the QD extender on M10, and I'll read you the steps. First step, move bale forward to the full open position.
Forward, full open.
Check that the aft white band is visible.
I do not see. Now I do. I got an aft white band visible.
Check detent button is fully installed, that it's up, and that it can be depressed.
Fully installed, up, and depressed.
Assess and counteract side loads.
Copy.
While depressing the detent button, move the bale forward to the open position with significant force.
Complete.
Then depress the detent button and move bale aft.
Full aft.
Check forward white band is visible and detent button is up.
Visible. Tent button is up.
All right, we'll now demate so you can pull back on the release ring and demate the QD.
Roger, in work. Stand by. Know if I can help with anything. Yeah, you want to grab that the release tool? Release tool? Yeah. Copy. You can use it right into the bag. Yep. You okay with that? Yep, absolutely. What you're expecting? Exactly what I was expecting. Okay, I'll give you some slack on the ret. But you got it. I got the ret. Roger.
Got a handover coming up now.
As you heard, we are now in a satellite handover. The astronauts continue to prepare to vent the early ammonia system jumper. Just about an hour into today's spacewalk, and this is the first task for Mike Hopkins and Victor Glover. At the early ammonia system, they will vent 2 jumpers, and one will be relocated to the outside of the airlock for future use.
The bale on this one right next to you is also in the way. This is a tight. Yeah, okay, is it in place? Yeah, it's partway in place. So if you try, I'll hold it in place. There we go. Release.
And we're back with you. Did you say you got it released?
It's released.
Copy. Check release ring is retracted and the forward white band is not visible.
I don't see a white band. No white band.
Copy. Inspect male and female QD for debris damage or ammonia crystals.
Okay, we have a few ammonia crystals that are coming out from the female.
Yeah, we see that. Okay.
You can see there's a...
Yep. Let's go ahead and mate that hopper. So you can mate the QD extender to the vent tool adapter. So verify that it's ready to vent. Check that the detent button is up and the forward white band not visible.
Detent button is up, forward white band not visible.
Go ahead and mate the QD. And check forward white band is visible.
Forward white band visible.
Perform snapback test and check that the forward white band is still visible. Then a pull test and a visual gap test.
Roger. Visible, the pull test, the gap test.
Copy. So next we'll be opening the valve, which will start venting. So Ike, be prepared.
Ike is prepared.
Hopper, you can depress the detent button and move bale to forward position.
Pull forward. Off light band visible. Detent button is up. I see venting.
Copy all.
Rate has gone down. It's almost stopped. You right, forward.
We'll copy that. We got a 5-minute vent time.
Can we get that trash bag and...
Venting has begun of the first jumper on the early ammonia system.
So let me grab it up. Roger. Oh yeah, look at that go. Can you see that in the HECA?
Yeah, we can just see it on the edge of your view.
Let me, okay, spit is in the trash bag.
Copy that, Hopper. Next, you can release the wire tie between the two jumpers. The wire tie should stay captive to the jumper that you're currently venting.
And there is no wire tie there. Jumpers are independent.
Copy, so no wire tie between the two jumpers. Is that correct?
That's affirmative. Wow. Get the right view. That is more than I thought. Yeah. Still going. You expecting that much, Andy?
We're checking.
M3 closed.
Hopper, do you want to check if
Oh.
M3 is closed?
On my way.
Venting continues of the first jumper on the early ammonia system. That is scheduled to last about 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm at M3. Show forward, white band is visible.